Okay. Good, good. How fun.
Good morning, John Hopkins. It's October 22nd, Monday. Last Friday, we had STEM team from Emory-Riddle here, and they're Rocket University. So the rocket that you just saw take off here on my computer is actually here live at the school. We have Byron here from Emory-Riddle, and this is the rocket that actually went how many?
It went almost 11,000 feet up into the air, which is around 2 miles. The rocket you see before us stands about 10 feet tall, and each year Emory-Riddle selects a sophomore to lead the Pathfinder project. I'm the lead for this year's rocket, but the rocket you see in front of you was launched last year at Spaceport America in the New Mexico desert. We as a team travel out to New Mexico and compete against hundreds of teams internationally to see if they can launch the rocket with the best design and also the greatest payload. We do this as a club each year because we're passionate about rocketry and passionate about learning through our school and our education, and it's great to know that we as a school can make things like this, and that for you guys, an opportunity to do something like this is only 2 hours away.
Well, thank you, Byron. I mean, we're very excited to have these college students take away from their learning experiences and opportunities and come and show middle school students what robotics, STEM, and the whole business of investigatory type of science is. And you know, the person that brought it here for us is Ms. Moline, our science department leader and teacher, and I'm going to let her introduce her brother, who she brought in from Emory-Riddle, and his team, and show some of these neat robotic machines and devices that they've shared with us today. So, Ms. Moline, without further ado.
Hi guys, I hope that you've enjoyed STEM Week so far and had a good time in your science classes and came out to that science fair on Saturday to see all the things that we have in St. Pete locally to offer in terms of science. To tell you more about the robots and things going on here, I'm going to turn it over to my brother, Nick.
Hi everybody, so I'm Nick, and some of the things we've brought for you guys to see are this robot right here, which is a prototype lunar mining robot. So this is an initial design concept that NASA would look at for sending to the moon to mine ice and melt that into water and melt it down for drinking water and actually make rocket fuel out of it. So this is a really cool robot right here that competes down at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. But some other projects that we brought for you guys to see are like this robot over here, which competes in a competition called IGVC, which stands for Intelligent Ground Vehicle Competition. This is basically your predecessor to a self-driving car. So it's got a bunch of different sensors on here, like a GPS, a camera, and this right here, which is a really fancy sensor called a LiDAR, which is really an array of lasers that sweep back and forth and measure the distance to different objects. So it can actually create a 3D map of your environment. And it takes that data, puts it into a computer, maps out its environment, and figures out where to drive from that. Other things we have are a small robotic submarine here that was deployed off of a bigger boat, and a vertical takeoff and landing unmanned aerial systems aircraft right here. We also have up in the front a robot that plays Rock Band. If you've ever played that Guitar Hero Rock Band, that's really cool. Very few people can beat this.
I didn't beat him earlier?
No, you were playing on easy, it was on expert. So this will actually take the video input from the Xbox and look at the notes coming down and push down each of the keys and strum the strum bar and play Rock Band against you. So in addition to that, there's also some 3D printers we got over here. If Matt wants to talk about that. Matt, you want to talk about 3D printers real quick?
Jamie's got it.
Jamie's got it?
Hi, so we're printing a rocket right now. Basically the way a 3D printer works is it takes a filament, a spool of filament, which is just plastic, and it'll heat it up, shrink it down, and deposit it layer by layer, really skinny. So right now we're printing a rocket. It's 75% done. This is supposed to take about an hour and a half. And then we're going to print another one. So over here, Grady's slicing it, and so basically what that means is it's taking a file that's a 3D model, and it's converting it into a bunch of geometries and converting it into code that the robot, the 3D printer, can understand.
All right, John Hopkins community, our vision is to prepare our students to be 21st century learners. This is what the 21st century is all about. By the time you hit the middle of the workforce, students, you will be entering and preparing this nation for the 22nd century. These technologies will be commonplace, much like the car till the 20th century. These devices will be probably at the point of use in homes and in communities and in reach. So what you're learning today is leading us into the future. And I thank the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Robotics Association for coming in through the network of Ms. Moline and a host of great future scientists, engineers, and leaders that have taken this week off. Are you on like a break or something this week, team?
Yeah, 2 day break.
They're on actually a 2-day hiatus, and they decided to come and work. So my hat's off to you. Thank you for all your time and dedication, and really, you're going to change the lives of many children with this 1 day of exposure. So you'll have, if you end up with PhDs and professors, you might have some of these students say, I remember when you came to my middle school, so thank you. And on that note, get out and do something great today. And remember, this is 21st century learning, so seize the moment. Have a wonderful day.